Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft II Protoss video by Konungr. This time it was actually a 2v2, me and one of the guys. As a matter of fact, it was the last person I was in a video with, Moneybags, my last Protoss versus Protoss video where I did a Stargate opener with the Oracle Harass. Me and him got together and we've been doing 2v2 matches, and we just had a really good one. We've done two matches so far. We did one last night and one tonight, and we've won both of them. The first night it was 4 Protoss head to head, and I may put that one up later. I'm not sure yet. But the one we just did, it was Protoss versus Terran Zerg, and it was a very good game. So I think we're gonna go ahead and watch this. Let's see what happens in this match. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I've been up for too damn long at this point. I spent most of yesterday setting up a stream so that I could stream my games at the request of one of my buddies. Hold on a second, I've got something on. So but anyways, I've been setting up my stream on twitch.tv. The name is the same as my YouTube name, Konungr Joe. So if you want to watch or you feel like watching a live game, usually in the afternoon, sometimes in the early morning. I mean, it's 4 o'clock in the morning right now. I didn't go to work last night. In the game we played, I don't even remember how long it was, honestly. It was probably about an hour, I think. We'll see here in just a second. But yeah, Twitch TV / Konungr Joe, all one word, all lowercase. You can come watch me, and sometimes it's just me, and sometimes it's me and Moneybags. We're just tearing shit up. For PvP, for Protoss versus Protoss, I have two main strategies I open with. I will open with either for Protoss versus Protoss, I open with Dark Templar opener or Stargate opener with an Oracle Harass. Well, when there were the 4 Protoss match that we did last night, I decided, because I knew Moneybags was mainly a ground player, so I told him right off the bat, I'm going Stargate opener, and he was like, alright, I'm going ground. So when we got into this game, did the exact same thing. I'm going Air Force. Now, because there was a Zerg player, instead of going straight for instead of going 9 pylon, 11 assimilator, 14 gateway, and forge, etc., like I do with my Armada run, I went and did a forge fast expand type of opener to get my main gate walled off and cannoned off because of the Zerg. And it came back to bite me in the ass here a little ways down the road. Let me speed this up for right now. Okay, so we're just going through forge down, pylon down, cannon down. Just gonna build a couple of cannons, go back, keep building another pylon. We're gonna lay down our yep, there goes my assimilators. There's one, there's the second one. Go back to mining. Here comes out the let's put it to my view. Put down my gateway so I can start teching up and getting ready for that Stargate to come out. Right now I'm just saturating my base first before I go and build a second one. I didn't want to overstretch myself, so I had the front taken care of. And I should have known with the Terran player that this was going to happen. So, anyways, cybernetics core goes down. As soon as the cybernetics core is done, I do believe we immediately build 2 Stargates. Let's see here. Oh, it was a 40-minute long match. It was a really good match though. So there goes my Stargate, and there goes my second, and keybind those to my 3. Set them off to the side. And I see this guy over here, and I'll take him out here in a minute or two, because he's just steadily scouting him right there, which he goes and grabs him a little bit, gets him out of the way, but he still hangs around. I'm going ahead and starting to expand because I fully saturated that base. So I go up, build 2 assimilators, 2 pylons, and then my nexus. I built a few more cannons down here, and then here right about now, yep, there they go. And I start building my units, and I build out 2 void rays first, and then after the void rays I think I built an oracle while I was waiting on my fleet beacon, which I'm about to build here in a minute. Because ever since, I'm not sure if it was my last 2v2 match. I think it was my last 2v2 match. His armada, I was going for, as we talked about in the video with moneybags I posted a couple days ago. My golden armada, my ideal build is 60 probes, 5 tempests, 18 void rays, and 8 carriers. Well, I had to modify that because for some reason the void rays were just getting torn apart. And then once they got torn apart, the carriers got torn apart, and then the Tempest, with nothing to tank for them, they got torn apart. The Tempest are an absolutely amazing unit because of their range. They do slightly, and I do mean slightly less damage than a Void Ray. If you take a Void Ray and a Tempest at the same level of weapons and face them off against each other, the Void Ray will just barely beat the Tempest. So I just changed it up. I do mainly Tempest with a few Void Rays, and this right here, they got me because I was focused on getting out my army, and they caught me by surprise. Now I did fend this off, but in the process I lost all 30 of my main probes. My entire saturation was taken out. I was able to recover. I had to make sure to turn on my oracle weapons because I had 2 of them out. Since I don't build a robotics facility, I can't crank out any observers, but that's alright because the oracles do a fantastic job with it. So I wanted to get out a detector unit, that way I could kill creep and watch out for those cloak banshees. So he took out 30 of my probes, so I immediately I'm still building out army units and trying to get my my guy back out. And now that my fleet is ready, I'm going ahead and building my Tempest, and I also go ahead and start my mothership core so I can get the mothership out. That it provides a nice little, depending on how big their opposing force is, it gives me a nice little time cushion. And so, works out in the favor. I mean, it is somewhat expensive. I mean, 400 minerals and 400 gas. But it can give you the advantage sometimes. Plus, if it's still alive and you're halfway across the map and somebody decides to drop in on your base, you can port back. So I do build out the mothership. I immediately start it working on warping in. And then here in a second, as soon as I get more, there they go again, starting to warp in a couple of carriers. I think while I was attacking, I had 6 carriers this time. 6 carriers, full on interceptors. And like I said, I started putting out the oracles as well, so I made some room in there. 6 carriers, 5 or 10 void rays. As the match was coming to a close and they were only being able to pick off 1 or 2 of my units as I was moving from base to base, I started to build more void rays to back it up, because my little fleet of Tempest hadn't taken any damage. Basically, anytime they took out a carrier, I just replaced that with 2 void rays at the end of the game. So there goes my mothership, and I'm still building. Gotta saturate this base a little bit more. So I think that's where I'm building at now, is that base. And we have started our weapons too. I was steadily increasing my weapons the entire time. And right about the time my main was losing saturation, once all these minerals had died down, I think there was only like 2 pools left, I built a Twilight Council so I could continue upgrading shields. I'm steadily building out, and I should have done this a little bit sooner, but that drop from that Marine kind of set me back quite a bit with my economy. Let's see just how much I did lose compared to everybody else. Yeah, that little drop they put in on me, I lost 32 units. They hit me hard with that one. They alerted me to the fact that my buddy was getting taken out, so I pull over the Armada over there and start whooping up on him. And these Tempests, man, they're freaking outstanding. They're being cloaked right now. Not to mention the fact that they're sitting all the way back here, not being touched. If anything's getting attacked, it's my freaking Void Rays and Oracles. The Oracles are the first to go, which kind of sucks. So, excuse me for just a minute. So yeah, and here in just a minute, this saturation's gonna die down, and we're gonna expand to our 3rd base. And we're also gonna build some more Stargates up here. There were several laggy moments in the game. Streaming high quality and playing on a fairly decent amount of graphics got up there. So we're getting up the army, and right now we've got 2 carriers, a Void Ray, 2 Oracles, the mothership, and 7 Tempests. And those Tempests, man, they... It'll probably help matters if I don't pull my microphone jack out of my cord next time I'm recording. So I start to expand, and before I expand, I sent my entire armada down to go see what if there was anything there in the way. And I just noticed this. When you've got a bunch of stealth units, the only thing that shows up, like if the unit is stealth, they don't have a shadow, which is kind of interesting. That's really interesting. I never noticed that before until just now. So I build the Nexus, I build my pylons and my assimilators, and as soon as I'm doing the making the rounds, as soon as the pylons finish, I go ahead and cannon up. Always wear a cannon on your third. So he's putting a little bit of pressure on there. I think he sent down some zealots and was just kind of pressuring the enemy a little bit. We're steadily cranking out our army. Now we're building 2 units at a time, and this should have been the time, like I said, that kind of that when he took out my main set of probes there at the beginning, that kind of set me back quite a ways, and I kind of forgot about everything there for a minute. Another bad thing with and he's getting attacked, so we go over here and look at this, and oh, there's a bunch of those guys there. So I send out my armada to go take care of him and keep him out of trouble. And funnily enough, just as we get out of range here, and we're over here attacking, or we don't, yeah, just as we got out of range, like, cause our army was sitting right there, just as we left, he scanner swept that area, and then he scanner swept over here, cause he's like, where is he? I know he was there, and he couldn't see me, which is kind of awesome. Because he doesn't know how far along my army is. All he knows is that I've got this third base now, and I don't even know where they're at. Cause well, I know where they're at, but I wasn't paying attention too much when my partner was scouting. So I'm building out a couple more carriers. Right now we've got 4 carriers. We're building our last 2 right now. We've got 2 Void Rays, 12 Tempests, Mothership, 2 Oracles. I have to build those Oracles like 8 different times. They die so quick. Oh my goodness. But oof, excuse me. It's definitely one of those setups. Oh, and so he was getting attacked, so yeah, they finished it up pretty quick, so. and a sort carrier comes out, saturate it with interceptors. Those tiny little buggers that save my army. Oh, we put out that Twilight Council, and then we started our second shield level, as well as our third weapons level, and going for armor upgrade 1. I think we're building out, yep, we got 1 Tempest, and then we're building out 2 Void Rays, so we're trying to get some of those Void Rays out real quick. And we're also, boom, we're built up 7 more Stargates, so we can upgrade and rebuild our Air Force instantly. So we went ahead and built out all the rest of the units that we had. And it's quite funny because of how much gas is required for the air units. When you start out, you have no gas whatsoever. And then as you're building buildings, because buildings, with the exception of the Starport and I think the Dark Templar, all of them cost mainly just minerals, and even if they do cost gas, they cost more minerals than gas. So your gas kind of skyrockets there for a little bit, but as soon as you start building your army, you are held back by how much gas you have, because you get 2 Vespene gas geysers for every 8 mineral fields. So, and not only that, but your Vespene gas, it only gains at a rate of 4 instead of 5. So your minerals soon skyrocket far beyond what you've got in gas, and you're sitting there stuck waiting for gas. And especially, like, if I were going for a warp gate army, this would be fine, because I could be saving that gas up for all of my stalkers, and then I could go and build 10 freaking extra gateways and turn them to warp gates just to get my minerals down and have them used up. But it's not really an option with this this unit composition, which kind of sucks. Now, granted, I could go and build 100 cannons to keep my minerals down, but at the same time, if I were to do that, I wouldn't be able to rebuild my army. Say I go in an attack, and behind the curtain they've got a giant mass of Tempest killing monsters. I would pretty much immediately lose, because I wouldn't have the chance to rebuild. I mean, already right now I'm still trying to rebuild from that little tuft we had right there, and the gas is what's holding me back right now. And he's going through and assaulting a little bit. I'm still trying to build up, but I go ahead and head out so I could help him. It's somewhere along here. Yeah. I got tired of waiting for my gas to not build up, so I asked him, because one of the nifty things in the 2v2s and more are that they've got a feature where you can ask for or send out resources. So you can take a certain number of minerals or gas and send it to your partner. So he went and sent me, I think he sent me 500 or 600 gas, which immediately gave me 4 more Tempest out, because I had 800 gas when I noticed it. So I was immediately able to pull out I think 4 more Tempest. It might have been void rays, in which case it was 6 of them. But as you can see, I'm sitting there knocking these guys out. And the void rays are kind of tanking for me a little bit while the Tempest sit back and do their damage. Now they did kind of flank me there for a second, which did hurt, but I was still able to recover. And even still, I didn't lose that much anyways. Look how huge that Tempest's range is. That's insane. That range is huge. Oh my goodness. Just freaking annihilates everything. And I had a lot of extra minerals, so I was trying. He'd helped me out with the gas, so I was trying to see if he needed help with the minerals. What did he have? I ended up taking that expansion right there, and it had the gold, the rich mineral fields. And every time, like, this one's about to deplete, so I just took all of these probes. Everything that got depleted, I just went through it on there, because at this point I did not see any point whatsoever in expanding to a 5th base, even if I could find a 5th base that was available to take. So I moved back up to regroup my army, which there was some reason that I'd moved up there. So, stealth units. So what do? I turn on my little envision, and I go and blow those out of the water and protect my partner. Because I wasn't going to let those stealth units take him out. So. And there's those. So we start to move back down. And while we're moving that back down, because his envision is still active, as we're moving, they start taking out creep tumors, which is good. If the Zerg were to make a comeback, they now have a lot less creep to increase their distance and all the other benefits that creep gives the Zerg. And this right here is the turning point. I officially have the least number of units lost, because my army is just like, I'm going around and I'm just cleaning up shop. Whoa. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. My mouse slid to the side. I've got a very sensitive mouse and it wanted to jump off to the side. And of course, as usual, the mothership is the first to die, but that's alright, because in the time it took for them to kill my mothership, I took out the bulk of their attacking force. and now I'm just cleaning up shop. I'm going in. I turn on Envision, and I'm clearing out the creep tumors. I took out his army. I wasn't even paying attention to where I was on the map. I was just following the creep tumors, and I ended up coming across his base and realized that, hey, I just landed myself smack dab in the middle of his territory, just cleaning up shop. So we cleared out that hatchery, I think it's called, and like I said, I keep Envision active on one of my four oracles at all times, and I'm cleaning up everything as I go along. It's absolutely amazing just how freaking outstanding those Tempests are. Like that their attack isn't like it's a medium attack or so as far as damage goes, but that range, excuse me, that range that they've got, just fantastic. You can sit out of range of any kind of cannon unit and take it out. Um, Now we're just cleaning up shop. And the Zerg player decided he was done. He submitted defeat, and here in about a minute, we go ahead and we go back into over here, and the Terran player is gonna submit defeat here in a minute. And end of the game, they left. So I hope you enjoyed this replay. It was a pretty good game for me and my partner. I mean, we look just how much of a difference there is. They had a lot more time played than both me and him combined. Moneybags is like level 43. I'm like level 18, and they were both. One of them was 50 something, and the other was 30 something. So they had so much more time invested in the game than we did. Let's see. APM. I don't know what it is about my APM. My APM is always low. I average 30 APM, which I don't really understand right now. I've only been playing for like 2 weeks, and I don't necessarily think that I'd uh, leave myself not doing anything, but that's alright. Active forces, well, prior to us wiping them out. These freaking things. All these upgrades that they get. Let's see. I went 3 for shields, 3 for weapons, 1 for armor. He went 2 armor, 3 weapons, 1 for shields, and warp gate. Let's see, production, well, not production, units lost, structures. Guess that doesn't really help now, does it? Spending. Okay, there we go. Spending, economy. Spent 31,500 into my army, 6,300 into my technology. So I spent the most on tech. I've spent the second most on, or had the second most economy. Top tech and top army. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.